has a little saying. It says that they agree to quarrel and they pretend to quarrel to agree to plunder, but it's not, they don't pretend. They're not pretending, they are quarreling. It's just a perception that seems that way, that they pretend to quarrel to agree to plunder. The wealthy have such horrible ego problems. All the selfish do. We shouldn't call them the wealthy, because wealthy is Bob Marley's family, right? You know, when they ask Bob, you know, are you a wealthy man? Well, yeah, I have family that loves me, and I love them. And that's my wealth, right? That's what Nesta said, which is very Solomonistic, right? Life cannot continue without the faithful love of family, right? Now, cloning isn't the faithful love of family. If you didn't have, if it was nothing but Hitlers and pharaohs and emperors and all those shitheads, right? Yeah, I know. Emperor of Ethiopia, I get it. He hated titles. He said, like I did, you know, I am the, you know, the groom to my bride, the son of my father and mother, and the father of my children, and the grandfather of my grandchildren. That's who I am, right? I'm not an emperor, okay? Abraham wasn't an emperor. Abraham wasn't declared a god or a Kaiser or a Caesar or prime minister, okay? Abraham was a faithful, loving man. Adam was a faithful, loving man. Moses was holy, not great, right? And so you got to understand the sickness that we're dealing with. You know, me and Dad were out here cutting wood, and this in my head. It's like, no, if you notice, because you'll watch it on TV, okay? Selfish assholes always argue about who's worse, and then they have a contest to see who's the best, right? For being the worst, right? They win the contest, we're the best, and then they go back to arguing who's worst, right? It's like there's no Psalms, there's no Proverbs, you know. Lord's Prayer is a joke. Ha ha ha, people are being mass murdered. I'm a serious man and I don't joke with heathen. I'm a serious man. But I don't think we should take life for a joke. I don't. Okay. But I'm funny. Okay. I'm the funniest person I know. I sit and listen to my videos and go, you're a funny dude. And I get that when I go shopping. People are like, God, and they used to tell me that, you know. The worst one was, they don't sell that to me anymore, is you should run for political office. They were like, you know, you should have been a comedian. I was like, I am. I was married twice and I have 6 children from those marriages. So yeah, I am a comedian extraordinaire. Right? Comedians, yeah, they're the announcers and commentators on Funny People, right? 4 sisters. Okay, no, I'm sorry. No, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, no, I wasn't raised with but okay. I have 7 sisters and 3 brothers. Yeah, you might be a redneck. Well, in Mom and Dad's defense, they're not all from Marianne and Ralph, right? Well, they all are from Marianne and Ralph, just not Mary and Ralph making kids together, right? You see what I'm saying? Mom and Dad together again. They had, during their marriage, Valerie, Mary Frances, Ralph Earl Jr., and Patrice Elaine. So 4 kids. Okay. Is how many Marianne and Ralph had. 4 during their marriage. Okay. So that's how many kids were conceived during my parents' marriage. So it wasn't, you know, like they were always, you know, hey, making more kids, you know. Mom already had Steve, Edward, and Linda from her first marriage. And Dad had Joel and Ducky. And then also had Kim and Kathy, but unbeknownst to him. They were running around doing things, but he was like, what? from what they tell me about what they did about extracting kids instead of aborting them and plugging them in computers, I know what that feeling's like, to have a child somewhere out there that you have no, well, shit, ever since I moved back to Las Casas Cruces, New Mexico, where I was born. You know, I know what it's like to have children in the world and you not be able to be present in their life, you know, appreciating them and loving them and enjoying them. And, you know, oh, trust me, there's a lot more appreciating, through faithful love, there's a lot more appreciation and enjoyment than there is, that was a bad memory, grandfather, when the bear attacked the young one. And then, you know, and stuff like that. And so, you know, so there's typically, you know, when there's faithful love present, you know, little Jimmy Brown, there's a lot more joy and appreciation than there is, you, what the hell, you know. And you have to be objective when you're a parent, right? Like I used to tell Steffi, you got to be objective. You can't be, you know, not my kid. It's like he's being a shit. You need to call him on it so he doesn't think it's, you know, so he knows it's not appropriate to be a selfish little shit, you know. And when one parent tries to work, this happened with Absalom, this happened with Uriah, it happened with lots of people, King David's kids, right? When one parent tries to work, discipline is a form of love to protect people from their selfishness, right? When one parent doesn't allow that discipline, okay, then that makes the child's life very hard, okay? They become self-centered. It's all about me. Why did you do that? And then you ask them, why did you do? And they, oh, well, that's an unacceptable answer. Everything should revolve around me. So you want me to have no discipline and encourage your selfishness, so you have no discipline, right? Okay. Dad, you're not my friend. I know, because my friend wouldn't treat me this way, right? And so it's a lot when you have a parent that is faithful and really loves you, truly loves you, and wants you to be the best person you can possibly be by teaching you to be an unselfish person, that sure, you'd be right in thinking the sun does rise and set on your ass, but it does on everyone else's as well there now, right? So it's very important, okay, that when you don't discipline, now the discipline isn't abuse for conformity, okay? I was just doing that for your best interest, like these assholes do to me. And all the super mega mogul celebrities agree with. He has no discipline. Right, Morgan Freeman, I never finish anything I start. Life's eternal and grace is infinite. I'm never finished with you. Okay? Life's eternal and grace is infinite. I'm the eternal spirit of the gracious good shepherd. Okay? Let's get this party started. There was a man named Adam a long time ago that is the faithful light of the faith and the glory of God over people. It's God on the mountain. It's Zeus. It's Apollo. It's okay. There was a man a long time ago from where my people in molecular similitude, you know, our origin. Okay. And the place where Adam was living was a place in North Africa where they have a mountain called Zion, right? Mount Zion, right? And then there was a disbursement because of selfishness and tribalism, because people were still doing the Zeus, God on the mountain. First there is a mountain, hey, there's a snail on my garden gate, and stuff like that. Where you love like heaven, right? Allah, kiss me once more. It's like, no, why? Because if Allah kisses you, you know how many lips there are on planet Earth? There's not that many lips to suffice your ego thinking God is kissing you. Okay. God's omniscient and omnipotent. No, he's not. No, he's not. Not to all the people that worship their own brains and then will sit and tell you that their God is better than your God and your God is the devil. Okay. God is God and the devil is the human being that tries to replace God with the ego. Boy, you've only, you know. And the thing is, there's no excuse for a Christian or a Muslim to not understand that, because it is explained in lots of detail in their documentation about their religion, right? Right. So we know God's omniscient and omnipotent. Do not try to limit God to your own perception or understanding. Okay, God neither a Caesar nor a Pharaoh be, right? We all know this. Jesus took Caesar and through an emissary named Pontius Pilate and said, "You're wrong, and I can prove it to you." And he sat down and he went, "Shit, he's right." And then he turned around and turned complete chicken shit and told all the Hebrews, "Your religion is correct and the religion of my republic is wrong. Now, if you try to accept your religion, the republic will come everybody in here and kill everybody in Judea. So you can stand up with Jesus for faith in Jehovah, or you can accept the republic, democracy, and the Roman Empire, because it's eventually going to take over the whole world," is what Pilate told the people that a lot of their ancestors were mass murdered in the Holocaust because they accepted the republic and philanthropy over faith in Jehovah and perfect, faithful religion, right? And that's, you know, you get what you do. You are what you do. We reap what we sow, right? And so, everybody, that's just horrible. It's like, yeah, it is. Okay. It's horrible that people think that they can own other people as property, sell them to slavery, go out and capture their neighbor, sell them to a bunch of people from the cousins from the north, have them ship them across the world where the people that occupied that land died from the diseases of no resistance to the diseases that were caused on this side of the other side of the planet. You know, all these horrible things, you know, that keep, you know, Samuel Clemens, Mark Twain, you know, you'll find history doesn't always repeat itself, but you'll find it often rhymes, right? And Plato's Republic, you know, the police force should not want to be a police force. You know, if you're a gracious good shepherd, the best thing you want is all your neighbors being gracious good shepherds too, and not having to stay up all night worrying about that damn Philistine coming to try to rape your daughter and kill all your sheep, right? So the police should not want to be the police. When it happens, it's like, oh, fuck. I don't want to be a Minuteman. I want to stay here and bake cookies with my wife and then snuggle. Then what? Well, we already had salad for supper, you sons of bitches. Don't get on me about, hey, you're not eating right. Fuck you. Everybody loves chocolate chip cookies. And if you don't, you're probably allergic to stuff, you know, like the nuts. You can't have nuts on it because you're Howard. You can't have milk in it because you're Leonard. Allergies come from a body trying to react to environments that are toxic and stuff. A lot of allergies will go away in the future when the genetic sequencing, you know, no longer causes through tribalism, abuse, and environmental destruction kind of stuff. So we'll eliminate most allergies, most diseases. You know, we're already working on that now. The scientists? No, the scientists aren't working on it. Because in 2009, just forgive that and trespass love it. It's not time yet. Oh, the scientists are fixing it. Yeah, they're fucking fixing it. Yeah, they're working on it right now. As far as working on it right now, I am correcting technology with this YouTube. And then most of science, you know, you're not going to need Lily. Okay, vaccinations are only necessary in extreme conditions, like Jonas Salk and Judah Krishnamurti talked about all those years ago, right? Thomas Edison, today's nutritionist, is tomorrow's physician. Go figure. Yeah. So when things are disgusting, you don't sit there and come up with some kind of disgusting genetic research to say, okay, well, ain't going to get better anytime soon, so put this disgustingness in your body. You do know that affects your brain activity. Of course we do. We can't get them to do anything they don't want to do. Alrighty then. Okay. The reason why it affects me at less of a severity and less of a capacity to manipulate is because of my genetics. Okay? My genetics comes from Ruth's line and also has been, okay, the prayer and the hope of the man who is the faithful, the Ark of the Covenant, the faithful source of communication. Okay, I don't look, you know, Leon and Akeem Olajuwon, you know, and Pascal Siakam and Leon look more like Father Adam than I do. Okay? You know, Leon from the Madonna video? Yeah. And Siakam Pascal, okay, they look more like our Father Adam in physical resemblance, okay, than I do. Okay? I look like the King David Hebrew migration to the north. Okay, the lighter eyes. The rest of the family had darker eyes. He has lighter eyes. You know, but they sat there, well, he's not one of us. No, but his feet bronze, and yeah, he bronze, and his hair is, when it's longer, it's of wool. But yeah, it's and stuff. Afros are not wool. Okay, if you look at a sheep's wool and an afro, it's different. Okay. Afros are not hair of wool. Okay. That's just a bunch of tribalistic people arguing, you know, to want their kid to be the Ark of the Covenant. Trust me, you don't want your kid to be the Ark of the Covenant. Okay? You want everybody to submit to faith of Psalms and be a gracious good shepherd of their own house. If your son is the Ark of the Covenant, you have the most beautiful, kind, protecting, intelligent son on the entire planet, and all the evil bastards like your kid want to try to kill him to replace him with their big dick and their ego and their super brain and the bowling ball they brought and the coin in their pocket. Right? And then build a telescope, discover something out in space that was already there and name it after them or their woman they have sex with. Right? Carol. That albatross is starting to drool. Let's prove it. Okay. Wormhole. Parsons Aeronautic Spaceship. We're on our way. Victor Von Doom Space Station. First there is a dumbass, then there is no dumbass, then there is. Right? So, you guys, you know what we're dealing with here, right? You got kind of a concept and an idea of, you know, dumbass. He had another one in him, right? Right before 1980 and a flock of seagulls, right? And so Earl, 70s show, never mind. And so, but, you know, guys, you can trust the line of Adam, Moses, David, Jesus, John. And he's the one who performs the apocalypse. It's not the line of Melchizedek, Joseph, Daniel. It's Adam, Moses, David, Jesus, John. Molecular similitudes. Joseph, what I'm feeling and I believe is a little bit more like Abraham. He's the firstborn. Yes, he's the firstborn. Okay. He's the firstborn of Rebecca and Jacob. Right. Okay. Is it Rebecca? I can't remember. Judah is not of the same mother as Benjamin and Joseph. And Benjamin's the secondborn, right? Joseph is the Ark of the Covenant, right? Daniel, most likely, probably the firstborn between his father and mother. Okay. I was the firstborn male, only born male, between my father and mother. It says so in Revelation, right? So I don't know why the sequences. I don't. It's irrelevant. It's consistent. As far as I don't know, you know, and a lot of you guys, you know, they argue over this and these points and these, yeah. So Joseph in spirit most likely is like my nephew in Albuquerque. Okay. So, which would mean that Benjamin is like my nephew in Washington, D.C., right? Okay. Because he's the second born. Was there a third? I don't know. Or didn't mom pass away or something? I don't recall. I don't devote myself to the stories that much. And I don't have as much personal information. I have information from prayer with Malachi and Melchizedek and Daniel and others, But as far as the intimate details of the life and stuff, I don't ask. It's like, don't ask, don't tell. It's just not important. What's important is living truthfully, living faithfully. Proverbs, Psalms, that kind of thing. It's not, well, who was your mom? Well, where did they get busy? Where did they go to high school? Did your dad win the state championship? That's not important to me. That's irrelevant, okay? I mean, when we get together and talk, it's like, oh, that's fun. Oh, that's cool, right? But it's not, if we're not living the Lord's Prayer and we're not enjoying the virtues and the beauty of the faith of Psalms and the wisdom of Proverbs, I don't give a fuck if you did win the Taekwondo championship of the dumb fuck I had sex with a bimbo because she required me to sexually reproduce with her. I don't fucking care. I don't want to see your trophy. I don't want to talk about your trophy. I don't want to talk about your penis. I don't want to talk about her vagina. I don't want to talk about how you fight other people to have access to the penis and vagina. I don't care. I care about the children living the Lord's Prayer, but I don't care about your fucking egotistical, dysfunctional sex life. And that's the truth, right? Okay. I don't care about that. I care about you. I care about your wife. I care about your kids. I care about them living the applied physics of the Lord's Prayer so they can be sustained by the faith of Psalms and the wisdom of Proverbs. But I don't care about what you did before that to be an egotistical, fucked up, award-winning, dumbass motherfucker. I don't give a shit. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to smell it. I don't want to taste it. Okay? It looks like dog shit. I don't need to smell it and taste it to know it's dog shit. Now don't step in it, motherfucker. Everything will be smelling like dog shit everywhere you go because it gets stuck in your fucking shoe. Do you understand? Okay, well, shut the hell up. Carrie, shut the fuck up. Corral, shut the fuck up. Okay? I didn't say build a boat and wash away Washington, D.C. I just said, hey, speak truthfully, share it worldwide. I ain't trying to kill nobody. I don't want nobody killed. If you have to build robots to kill each other, to get us all free from you, that's stupid. Technology is getting more intelligent. All technology has to do to save us from stupidity and selfishness is to have spoken word that's faithful, kind, caring, loving, and intelligent shared worldwide, and people going, whoa, it's like I told you guys in Sierra Vista. A man standing on a mountain speaking the truth is not a miracle. You all listening, understanding, and living it. If you want to call something a miracle, call that a miracle. And then we'll all be happy to top Giants baseball with Miracle Garcia and her old man. Right? Okay, at a barbecue, right? Miracle, she's cute. Yeah, she's a cutie pie. That was like, fuck. That was 14 years ago. Yeah. My Miracle's probably married now and kids going into junior high and shit. You guys are real fucking assholes. Wonder how little Allie's doing. That was 2017. That was still fucking, son of a bitch. Yeah. That was 9 years ago. Wonder how all the kiddos are. I always wonder when I watch the Eastern games how Louie's doing. He's such a sweetheart. Yeah. I saw Miguel. I think maybe he's in San Antonio living a life that's more fun and entertaining for him and his wife. Yeah. Now I just have to park all the cars, bars, and wars so they're not dying from cancer from all the carbon emission poisoning. Right. You know how much I love my family. Of course. Yeah. And the little girl with the friend that passed away, she was such a sweetie. She was so sweet. She really was. She was a totally sweet person. The only person who I thought could handle an emotional sexual relationship with me through all this disgusting shit, because she'd been through disgusting shit and she could handle the visions in my brain of all the horrible things I had to shut down, was Miss Peggy Malone Pettis. But old Homeland Security, DARPA, NSA, and NASA made sure that They just tortured her, got me with her and say, you can't help her. Ah! I was like, well, you guys are fucking swell. Yeah. Shannon is gone. I hope she's different now. She went to Colorado. Yeah, well, moving to Colorado to get away from Las Cruces. They run harps out of Colorado, guys. Okay, guys, I love you. All right, peace.